Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to You Can Draft. This is Ryan, and today I want to talk about sheet sets. Now, I'm not going to go over sheet set creation, just sheet set usage, because sheet set creation will usually be handled by some kind of a project manager, CAD manager, project lead of some kind. And most of you are probably just going to need to know how to use the sheet set, not necessarily modify the sheet set template. And it's a much longer video that I will do on sheet set creation and template creation and so on and so forth. But for now, let's get into how to use a sheet set and what sheet sets are. If you have absolutely no idea what sheet sets are, they're essentially drawing management from within AutoCAD. A lot of times, companies who don't use Sheet Set Manager will just have you open files through your File Explorer. And so you'll just go navigate to your network drive, and double click a file, draw in it, and close it, and save it, and everything else. What Sheet Set does is allows you to have a place to organize all of your files inside of AutoCAD and access them and even print them through the Sheet Set Manager. And you can see that by a couple ways. So to open Sheet Set Manager, what you can do is go to your ribbon View tab and just hit Sheet Set Manager. Or if you don't use the ribbon, you can go to View, sorry, not View, Tools, Palettes, and the Sheet Set Manager is there. You can also hit Control-4, or if you like the 2 key or your aliases, just type in SSM and it will open up your Sheet Set Manager. So I'm going to turn off the auto hide on my sheet set manager so you can see what I've got here. I have an example sheet set that I made for my You Can Draft facilities that I am envisioning. What I've done is I've created a sheet set based off of the example sheet sets AutoCAD gives you. They have some architectural imperial sheet sets, this manufacturing one and the civil one. I chose the architectural one, which is basically just architectural type layout. And the different disciplines therein. What we've got is a root, a parent sheet set. This is the overall sheet set here. You can see listed. Underneath it, we have subsets. This is ways to divide up your drawing. So they're not just listed all in sequential order. You can actually have them divided up into these subsets by discipline or however you need to, by area, whatever your method is. Find out whatever your project is using and put your drawings in the appropriate location. When you open up the Sheet Set Manager for the first time in a session, actually, you won't have anything loaded. You may have something under recent, but most likely if you haven't accessed the sheet set for your current project, then you won't have anything under recent. So you'll need to go to open and you'll need to navigate to wherever your sheet sets are. Mine's here, sheet set, and then there's my DST file, which is the sheet set file itself. Then it opens up the sheet set after that. Once you do that, when you go to recent, you'll be able to see it there every time, and so you won't have to go to open each time you want to access it. Also, if you're accessing multiple projects, when you go to recent and you click those different projects, those projects will stay open until you right click and say close sheet set. So you can actually flip back and forth between multiple sheet sets of different projects. Okay, so let's go through what you're going to need to know to use. The basis of sheet set, the most basic things you're going to need to know is how to create and access drawings and even print drawings from the sheet set. So let's say that I want to create an architectural floor plan. I have an empty sheet set. I'm the first one in here, and I want to create an architectural floor plan. What I will do is I will go into this section. I will right-click and say New Sheet. I'm going to be prompted with this box right here. In this box, I can give it a drawing number, a sheet title, and a custom file name if I need to. It's showing me where it's going to be saved to, and it's showing me the template that it's being pulled from. Now, I've already created a template ahead of time based off of the, again, one of the default AutoCAD templates. And then you can choose whether you want to open it in the drawing editor right away so that you can work on it or not. So here, I'm just going to give a drawing number of A10. Now, I don't need to do anything else. This isn't the file name. This is just the drawing number. And I'm going to call this A10. I could say not A10, A01. I had it backwards because you could do like an A1.0, A1.1, that kind of thing. But I'm just going to do A01. And for my sheet title, I'm just going to say floor plan. For my file name, I'm not going to put anything. And usually this actually automatically fills in. I don't know why I didn't do it this time. I think actually I know exactly why. It's because I clicked inside this box. So let me cancel that again to show you exactly what happens. Go to New Sheet. If I start typing A10 or 01, you can see that it's actually entering it here. And if I put a sheet title, it'll do the same. If I put floor plan, it will add floor plan to the file name. Now let's say I actually don't want floor plan next to, I don't want any descriptor in the file name. I just want the file name to say A01. Well, in that case, anytime you wanted to stop autofilling this, just click inside this box. The moment you click out of it, no matter what you do here, it will no longer start autofilling anything in that box. And so I can still have it as A01. So you can prevent that from happening. I know at my company, we enter the drawing number. The drawing number is the same as the file name. I don't want to see the sheet title in the file name. So I will make sure to not include the sheet title in the file name. In this case, I want to include it. So I'm going to say floor plan. And I don't need to open in the drawing editor right now. This isn't really for the purposes of drawing anything. I just want to show how we're creating a drawing. So we say OK. And there's my sheet. Let's say I need to create an elevation. New sheet. Let's say that the elevation is a 05. There's other sheets in between there. So A05 elevation. Oops, elevation or elevations. Okay. Say OK. Now say we have a structural drawing. Maybe we have a framing drawing. New sheet F01, or we'll call it S for structural. S01 framing there. Roof framing plan. Hit OK. And so you can see how we're creating this nested structure of files where we're able to kind of go back and forth between them and get information about them by hovering over them or double clicking them to open. So let's say I want to start working on my floor plan. I double click it. Once I'm here, you can see it's already loaded with a template. It's not a blank drawing. And that's because when I created this drawing, you see that when I hit New Sheet, it's pulling from a template I already have set up. In that template, it's basically as if I made a copy of that template, did a save as, and called it this drawing. It's got the border, it's got all the layers that are included in that template, any of the text styles, any of the dimension styles, dimension styles, they're already there. Everything I need based on my template is already here. At this point, I can go and start drawing, editing, modifying the title block. All this stuff is just attributes, part of the block that you can just double click and fill in. If you're not too familiar with block attributes, which are very common in title blocks, I have I think an intro video, or one of the videos I have goes over block attributes. So, okay, so we've got drawing creation. What about drawing printing, right? This is, again, a really popular one that you're going to use quite a bit. You could print straight from your sheet. You're doing a singular print, not a problem. But you can also batch print without having to go into the publish dialog. And the way to do that is select all the drawings that you want to print. Let's say you want to print the architectural. You right-click, you go to publish. Now you can publish straight to DWF or PDF, but what you're going to want to do is really publish using your page setup override. And the reason you want to do that is because the page setup override, when you look at the page setup manager for this, it's already got a page setup here with a printer that's already been set. This should already be set up for you in your template. You don't have to, if you were to do a manual print here like this, and go pick one of these, well, really it's just this one. If you were to pick this, you'd have this page setup already in your drawing, and you'd pick this preset configuration where it chooses your plotter, your paper size, your fit and scale and all that stuff for you. Well, we're basically accessing that from here. But what we're saying is I want you to access the page setup override, and there may be more than one. Maybe you have two different printers, 11 by 17 printer and a 24 by 36 printer. You pick the appropriate page setup override, and you're saying, I want every one of these drawings, no matter what in that drawing, I want every one of those drawings to use this override. Okay? And you want to do that because it's going to have the most current settings according to your organization or your project. It's going to have everything set up the way you want. So you're really going to want to use setup override. And you really only need to do this if you're printing multiple sheets, like a whole set, and you want to just like set it and forget it and let it run. It's quite a bit faster than doing a publish option. And you have some other publish options here that are pretty self-explanatory, for publishing to DWFs or PDFs. But a majority of the time when you're printing, you're printing to a set, just choose one of your page setup overrides, and I guarantee you, your project will, if you do any amount of printing to PDFs, your project will have a page setup specifically for PDFs. You won't even use the one that's here. So, okay, so you got drawing creation, we've got drawing printing through page setup overrides. And what if you want to, let's say, rename a drawing? You can do that by saying rename and renumber. So let's say that I need to rename this floor plan to A02. Maybe A01 is for architectural notes. So I need to say rename and renumber. From this point, I can change the number here, but nothing's happening to the file name unless I manually specify, hey, this needs to get renamed to A02 on the file name as well. When you do this, make sure you don't have any clashing file names already. You don't have a file that exists that says this. So you change the number here. If you don't change the number, the file name here as well, it won't change it. You have to change this file name here under the layout name. I am completely tripping. I'm in the drawing. I can't. So rename and renumber on this one. Now you can do it. I keep messing with layout name. This is your layout name. It's file name. And the reason I couldn't modify it on A10 floor plan, I'm in the file. Okay. There we go. So under file name, this is the one you have to modify. So if I change it here, like A05 to A06, I have to come back here and change this to A06 for it to take effect. So I say, okay. A06 is updated here. Then we go to my drawings, and here it is, A06. Notice A05 is the backup because I haven't actually saved it more than once. So it's still showing A05 for the backup. But if I save it, it'll change. Actually, this will always be here because this will just make a new A06 backup. So keep track of your backups and maybe delete the ones you don't need. Sometimes you need to rename something, but you don't need to rename the file name. You just need to rename the description. This might be changed to north elevation. And it's just for the purposes of renaming within the sheet set. So you just change the name of the sheet title and just say okay. And there's our name. This name has nothing to do with the file name. It has nothing to do with the title block. It's just for you and your team to see an explanation of what's going on in the sheet set manager, so you can easily identify what drawing is what. You can also rename your layout to match your sheet title, and it'll just change it automatically so that your sheet title, like this name here, will match this. Well, actually, you're modifying the sheet title to match the layout name, which is the tab right here. You want it to match the sheet title, which is whatever you specify here. You can also prefix it with the sheet number, so it'll say A06 north elevation down here instead of just north elevation. You can also rename your drawing file to match the whole thing automatically. It's up to you. There's options here, but that's how you can rename and renumber. You can also choose to do a whole sequence. Notice how it says previous, because I can go to the previous drawing in this set and edit that one. So I can edit it and then go to next and then edit that and so on and so forth. So within a subset, you can just keep hitting next and rename. If you got to renumber or rename a bunch of drawings, you can do that. Okay. This right-click menu has got a lot of nice stuff in here. Open read-only is great when you want to open a file quickly and read-only because you don't want to make modifications by accident. You got that. Import layout as sheet. Okay, let's say I got this drawing here. Okay, I'm going to close that sheet. I shouldn't have closed the sheet set manager. Well, it's fine. Okay, so let's say I got this sheet, and I'm going to do a save as, and I'm going to call it AO2. Now, somebody created this without going to the sheet set manager, or maybe they just had another file they copied over and just modified it, and you need to import it in there. How do you do that? We open our sheet set manager, we right click, and we say import layout as sheet. Browse for drawings, go find that floor plan, and say open. Okay, now, if it's a clean drawing that has never been part of another sheet set, you won't get this message. But since I did a save as of 8.01 or A01, whatever, it's warning me, this layout, or this layout, what does it say? Whole thing may belong to another sheet set. It doesn't, because it's brand new. Well, not brand new, but it's a copy of one that used to. So that's why I get that warning. Even the layout name still says AO1 floor plan. So we're going to say import checked. We get AO2 floor plan as the name, or the number actually, or actually the whole name. And the reason it says AO1 floor plan, that's the name of the layout tab. So I'll just renumber the whole thing. AO2 floor plan 2 layout name. We're just going to call this layout 1, like the default. I'm in this file, so I can't modify this, which is kind of a bummer. And I forgot about that, which I would have done at first. Let me close out of this, say yes. As soon as the little lock symbol goes away, that lock symbol indicates that I can't modify it. And sometimes it may take a little while to go away. You can see I closed the file up, but the lock icon is still there. Let me go back to rename and renumber. There, it's gone now. Now I can change this to, there we go, AO2 floor plan. I'm matching the sheet title and the number. So AO2 floor plan is what I want. Hit OK. There we go. And now I've got them here. AO1 floor plan, AO2 floor plan. So we're good to go there. Now look, they're a little bit out of order though, which brings you to my next thing, organization. It doesn't automatically put things in like a numerical order like you think it would. You're going to have to manually move things around if you happen to create them out of order. But you can just drag them around if you need to do that. If you need to remove a sheet, you can also do that. You can just say, okay, you know what? I actually don't need this floor plan 2. I'm going to remove it. It's letting you know, first of all, it's a confirmation box so you don't accidentally remove something, but also noting that the layout and the drawing file will not be deleted. So you say, okay, what that means is when you go back to your file manager, this file is still here. So don't think that just because you removed it, it's gone forever. It's not. It's still in your folder structure. All right, lastly, you have properties. Now, in this one, because we don't have any custom properties set, and I probably should have, that's probably going to be under my custom properties section. But what happens is you have some things that you can modify, like sheet title, sheet number, this description, include for publish, and expected layout. This basically says what drawing is it supposed to be attached to, and it's giving me the drawing AO1 floor plan. And then there's some other minor things. Your company may have a nice little complex title block. And in that title block will be fields that you're not supposed to edit, because those fields are smart fields that are tied back to the sheet set. And what will happen is you will enter that information under the custom properties, things like your project name, your project number, who drafted it, the date it was submitted and checked, and things like that. Everything you would expect to see in a title block. So here, where you see attributes and they're just static text fields, instead of that, you'll see something like, I don't know, let's do create date. Notice how it's grayed out. You'll see a field with a value that's already preset. If the value's not in there, it'll say X or dash or something. But if the value exists, it will be grayed out and it'll have the value. Okay. In the case of your drawing, your company may have a whole list of custom properties to fill out inside of here. In fact, I can just show you one of them. Let's go to properties. Let's go to edit custom properties. I'm just going to do this real fast. So look how it has the, this is a good one. The client name, project address, project number. Let's see, do I have a client name on here? No, but let's say I want to add the project name, which actually should already be here. But we're going to say project name, default value, YCD, facilities. Owner is the sheet set. Is it okay? Oh, I guess it's not letting me use it. Oh, project name. I'm weak. YCD facilities. All right, hit OK, hit OK. I'm going to edit this block real quick, so bear with me so you can see what I'm doing here. Do we have a, let's assume this is the company, the client name. Okay. Title, here we go, owner. Under owner, I'm going to put a field. I'm going to go to current sheet, custom. I'm going to say project name. Actually, it's current sheet set custom. Let me make sure that I have save. ATT sync. Yeah, I kind of thought it might not. Let's do this. Let's see what the properties of, it is project name, right? Yes. Oh, the tag is owner. Okay, so we're gonna that's probably why I couldn't. Name. We're gonna put name. Name one. Owner. And I just created one of these, and I'm already forgetting because the whole process for sheet set creation is really quirky. Control F, current sheet set custom. There it is. I don't know why it wouldn't show me it earlier. Okay, there we go. Okay, so you can see, I guess I had to do it from here, not the block. What will happen is this should already be filled in for you. This is a field with preset information. You can see how these custom property names match these custom property names. Now, you shouldn't be able to edit these. You might be able to, but they're under these edit custom properties, and I can get rid of name one now. All of these right here are pre-filled. I could change this to what if I change this project name to, you know, I don't know, Amazon, and do a regen, I get that it changes it there. You don't want to edit the global properties for your job because that's probably something a project manager or project lead has set. My point is you're going to have a lot of custom property. You might have a lot of custom properties, much like this, on your drawing that are drawing specific. And those things are going to be like designed by, checked by, approved by, the file name. Even the file name here, probably you can, this won't even be, actually this won't even be on your sheet set. It'll just be like a file name. And it'll be file name only and probably no extension. Right, it'll probably show the extension. And then it'll have text options on top of that, like, I don't know, 3/4 inch or something, or whatever. You get my point. So, I can regen this. When you are in this properties menu, and I'm trying to reiterate this, and I wish I could show you. I didn't have all these set up, and I probably should have, but you'll have information you can enter in here, and then when you hit OK and you go back to your drawing and you regen, all that information will show up automatically. They're smart fields meant to pull information from the sheet set that's tied to each other. You don't have to worry about creating it right now, but I want you to know how to access it, and that's how you would access it, probably through the block. It's probably already set up through the block. You don't even have to do anything here. It'll just be set, and you just right-click Properties and enter the information there. So, last thing you might be asked to do is create a sheet list table. And this, I don't have a table set up, but it may be It's basically like a drawing index. And you have to choose like a range. I only have this one changed, like selected. Let me see if I can do two of them. Insert sheet list table. And so it did both drawings there. I'm not sure if it'll do it cross section. It might. Yeah, it did. So, and you can set your table styles for this. Again, this may be out of your realm, but it might be in your realm. If that's the case, you're gonna have to come to your table styles and come in here and modify, set up your table, get all that stuff good to go. Because when you insert a sheet list table, you'll have to choose like again what you want to include. Look, you can choose the parent, so we can choose like this and this. Oh no, it didn't want to include it. So there's a bunch of options you can tweak. I don't want to go through all that because, first of all, it's pretty self-explanatory. You can see that here. It's pretty intuitive. Choosing a table style name, you can modify your styles. And then title text, and then the column settings, which you can choose any one of these, values if you want to be included. And then you can actually write in what the heading is. This is the data type, and this is the heading name. So it's a sheet number, sheet title, and then this is what I have in those. I could choose file name if I wanted to in here somewhere. I'm sure. Drawing. Oh, actually, they don't choose file name, but they got sheet number, title, sheet title, description, and then a bunch of other extra stuff. So, and then under sheets and subsets, this is stuff you want to include in your table. So that's basically it. There's not too much to say about that, but it's for drawing index creation. You may draw your drawing indexes manually, or you might want to use this to create your drawing indexes. So, okay. I think I'm done talking your ear off for now on this one. I think we've got enough to get you introduced into, and I'm kind of, some sections I'm taking too long on, some sections I'm blazing through. Nothing ever goes really seamlessly, especially with me. I'm very off the cuff. I kind of say things as they come to me. So, but I want to kind of get this stuff out to you so you can see how to use sheet sets. Sheet set creation is something I will go over, but it's much longer, and I may have to break that up into multiple sections because you have to talk about how to set up the template first, and then how to create each one of these sections on your own, and then how to work with making custom fields and properties. And that's something that definitely you'd probably do if maybe if you're called on to do it. Maybe you want to just know how to do it so that you can put yourself in a good position when somebody asks, can you create sheet sets, or does anybody know how to create sheet sets? You can be like, yeah, I do. It looks good for the resume, I'll tell you that much. But yeah, that's all you're going to need to know is drawing creation with this new sheet, importing sheets that are already created, renaming and renumbering sheets, removing them, and then publishing them, inserting a sheet list table if you need to for your drawing index, and then just properties where you can adjust all this stuff independently. When you want to get back to sheet set, you can hide it, you can close it. So it's a palette, so it can be hidden. You can just say I'll anchor left, anchor right, and allow docking, and then you can auto hide it. I do that a lot. You can close your sheet set. I have a whole list of these things at work where I'm just going back and forth between jobs and recent, and I'll have 3 of them open at once because I'm just bouncing between different jobs. And it's nice to be able to just see the drawings here instead of having to go to my file manager, browse to my network drive, and try to figure out where my files are at. I can just come through here and quickly see them, organized by drawing number, and double click the one that I need, and so on and so forth. So there you have it. Last thing, I guess, as a subset, I forgot about that real quick. I'm going to throw this in here. If you need to create a new subset and you are approved to do so, just right click and say new subset. And you can give it a new name, and we'll just, call this fun stuff. Creating a folder hierarchy. Do you need this or not? Set it to no for now. If you go into your project folder and all of your files are in the same folder, you don't have a folder hierarchy. But notice how I've got on this one, I had architectural, civil, structural. If you go into your project folder and you've got all those folders that match these subsets, you've got a folder hierarchy. So I'm going to say no. And then everything else is pretty much the same. This is the new sheet location. Where are you going to create the new sheets? when you do create them, and then which template are you going to use, and then prompting for template. Do you want it to ask you for a template every time? No. And there is our new, oops, I actually put it inside of landscape. It should be under YCD. There we go. So because I right clicked on landscape instead of right clicking on YCD for subset. You can create a subset of a subset. There's that too. So there's my new subset, and I can create new drawings within that. So, all right. Well, hopefully that helps. If you have questions, feel free to post them in the comments. I always answer questions, try to clarify. I know I talk fast a lot of times, and it can be kind of hard to understand. So, but I hope you got what you needed out of this.